The reviews had a walkover bally stage. In other words, it would be a wagon front on a semi, and the steps would come up and the people would walk over and go down into the tent. And anytime you find a line of people waiting, other people come and get in that line. That's just an automatic thing. But the girl shows, they had a bally stage that they'd bring the girls out on, but the doorway was always at ground level, so that the old farmers could sneak in and out without being seen by their friends.
Whether it was a girl show, a freak show, or a grind show, there were certain essential elements that guaranteed success.
There's two things you need: good pictorial paintings and a good talker. Freaks, wonders, and curiosities. A panorama of the strange, the weird, the odd, the bizarre, the macabre, and the unusual.
While we've got 11 attractions under that tent, I'd like to call your attention to 2 or 3, particularly young Ajax.
There he
young
is.
man presenting an act just a little bit different from the average sideshow attraction.
The talker or lecturer is very important in a show like this because he's the audience's guide. Every sideshow I've ever seen has had one.
Got it kicking in there with a man's face. Born with no beak. It's got 2 lips, a nose, and a pair of ears, and it lives.
There are 2 kinds of sideshow attractions, the ones that are sort of medical monsters and the ones that are entertainers or self-made.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's just a sample of the class of dances these Oriental girls do. Can you imagine what they'll do on the interior of that house?
The talkers had a golden tongue and the power of persuasion. But perhaps the thing that hooked us even more was the sideshow banner.
So hurry, look 'em over the lady without a head.
Canvas banners were larger than life, with depictions of bizarre and unusual acts, creatures beyond belief. Talkers threw out the lines, and banners reeled them in. The human oddity, the sideshow freak, was irresistible.
Often the banner was better than the act. Like, you know, you should see the act and then pay admission to see the banner, most of the time.
Banners captured our imagination with overhyped embellishments. Often the exhibits were mundane or routine, sometimes slightly bizarre. Often they were merely illusions or hoaxes, which suckered us in with astonishing visual images.
Being swindled in the sideshow, if it's done well, it can become part of tradition. Like being hoodwinked sometimes is worth the admission, you know, because it's also fun. It's good fun.
I have this one banner that I have, it's a long one. It says, giant bat, big enough to kill a horse. 600 pounds. You have to see it to believe it. It's awesome. Blood-curdling. It'll send chills up and down you. Big bat. And when they were going in, people were going, so where's the bat? Where's the bat? I don't see the bat. And what it was is I had this artisan do this for me. I had him carve me a baseball bat. That's it. Ow. And then they go out. But what the hell? They see 15 things for $1. What do they want?
There's no honest men among us. They don't exist. we all get cheated.
The sights and sounds of banners, talkers, and endless ballyhoo were the essence of the Carnival Midway.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to behold a sight so strange, so horrifying, so utterly monstrous, that I urge those of you who are easily frightened or upset to forego witnessing this exhibit.
I wanted to have real superheroes in my life. And my father, he understood my passion that I knew there was real superheroes. I knew there was real magic, and I didn't want to let that slip away. And he knew it too. I saw sideshow banners that said, Lobster Boy, alive. And I thought, Spider-Man, Lobster Boy, Superman, Elephant Man, this man, that man. And I started drawing the connections to all these things. And I said, these are real superheroes.
By the late 1950s and early 60s, human oddities began vanishing from the sideshow tents, succumbing to old age economics and a wave of political correctness. The Midway has been changed forever by their absence.
Now, wait a minute. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a special sale.
See, the freak shows as we know them are primarily gone. What we have is a circus sideshow, which has primarily working acts. How come sideshows are not out anymore? It's not because there ain't none around. It's not because there isn't people that could run them.
Watch Mephisto, the king of fire and flame. What a way to make a living.
What's happened is the sideshow business was aced out by big rides.
On stage, strange people from strange places doing strange things.
As rides began to dominate the carnival scene, fair owners realized they created larger profits, and the sideshows gradually disappeared. Sadly, several generations have now missed out on the sideshow experience and the wonders of it all.
Good evening, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
But in a few places scattered throughout the country, we can still find traces of this great American tradition. Live performers who put it all on the line with eye-popping acts and museums that now pay tribute to ghosts of a bygone era.